Thank you, and good morning, everyone. My name is Toru Oga, and I'm teaching the Politics and International Relations here at the Kyushu University. And this is a joint research with the Professor Makoto Fujimura, and she's a psychologist in teaching of Fukuoka Jogaku universities. And so this is mainly the survey-based research, and I make a research design and survey questions, and Professor Fujimura doing the data analysis and interpretation from the data. So I talk about four things in today's presentation. The first way, I'll explain the aim of our research project, and our surveys takes 2 times, the last year and this year. So the previous research means we take surveys on the 2018, and the current research is we take surveys on 2019. And finally, we compare the previous 2 research, previous research and current research, and finally we do some concluding remarks, and we make some future research plans. Okay. So the basic motivation and the basic focus of our research is there are many methods of active learning, including debate and also the presentation and discussion and the research learning method. So there are many methods for the active learning. And our main focus is how the debating experience and practice have an effect on non-debating communications, such as the speech and discussion and group works. And so this study aims to examine and focus on the 2 aspects, the research debate experience and debate practice. And what does that mean? Okay. Firstly, I'll explain the definition. The debate experience is an experience of the debate which students have prior to the attending the class, such as high school or such as club activities. And debate practice is the practice of the debate as a class curriculum. And so we have 2 questions. The first way, how have the debate experiences before the class, the effect on the student motivation on the discussions? And secondly, how have the debate practice in the class, the effect on the student motivation on the discussions? And the basic method is like this. We have a 4 weeks class, and we will conduct the questionnaire surveys on, especially it's a surveys on the discussion in the week 1 and week 4. So it's the beginning of the class and after the end of the class. And this 4 weeks class, we have the 12 hours. And in the 12 hours, basically we have the group discussion and debate. And okay. So more concretely, our focus is like these 2 questions. So firstly, are there any difference in the questionnaires response between the student with debate experience and without debate experience? And secondly, any difference between the first and the last survey responses? It means any difference between week 1 response and week 4 responses. And so I just explained what is the contents of the questionnaires. And so we have a set of the statement like this. For example, it is fun to have a conversation with a stranger, or I can ask the question at the suitable context or something. So the student have the set of the questionnaires of the statement, and student choose the agree or disagree in the 7 levels. For example, if student strongly agree, the student choose 7, and if student strongly disagree, student choose 1, and like this. And actually we have the 9 frames of the questions like this, from discussion image, discussion skills, and blah blah blah, and the communication skills and self-esteem or something, and the 9 questions. So this is a questionnaire. So in particular, we can make sure the motivational effect, how students positively or negatively evaluate the discussion and the communications. And then going to the first research. So first research taking place in the second half of 2018. And the focus is the freshmen. And this is general education class. All the department students that joined this class. And in this class, there are 50 students, and 50 students and 3 classes, so totally the 150 students. And And according to the questionnaire, and we analyzed the data, there's firstly the students with the debate experience, that they're very positive on the communication skills and discussion skills, and also they have a very positive scores on the group works. And also they tend to understand the significance of the actively speaking the opinions, and also they how understand the eliciting the others' opinions. And secondly, the discussion practice. So this is, as I said, only the 4 weeks class. So discussion practice means the student only have a discussion practice for the 4 weeks. So here, there is some positive impact on the motivation, the engaging, the active discussion, and ability for the discussion. But there are very limited or sometimes negative impact on the logical thinking and collaboration activities. And also they have a limited impact on the other types of communication, such as the first time meeting and the speeches and the presentation. So it means if they do the discussion practice, that they have a positive effect on the discussion skills and the engaging and joining discussion, but limited impact on other types of communication, such as presentation and speeches. And also, they have a positive impact on the proceeding, but limited on the arguing the opinions. And this is the previous research. And then let me move to the present research. It took place in 2019, the first semester. And this surveys conducted on the specific department, and we call SI, the School of Interdisciplinary Science and Innovations, and we call it Kyushu Gakubu. And we focus on second year student. And actually, we have a 25 student class, and there are actually 4 classes. But because of the cancellation of the class due to the typhoon, we conducted the surveys only in the 3 classes. So totally 75 people. So the number is not so many. So the people have a debate experience. We have a similar result with the previous research. They have a positive on the communication and discussion skills, and also they have a positive on the analyzing the problems. And in the case of debate practice in the class, in this class we have 4 weeks, and one of the 4, so the 1 week we take a debate, and 1 or 2 weeks we take a discussion and group work. And also we have a positive image on the discussion and speech, and also the discussion skills, the opinion, engagement, and logics. But limited or little impact on the proceeding and the collaborations. So comparing this result and the previous result, the results are mostly similar, but let me make sure the previous class is only doing the discussion, and the current class is doing discussion and the debate. And in terms of the logical thinking, the current class is more positive than the previous one. It means if the class, including the debate practice, that they have the more positive on the logical thinking. But on the discussion skills, the both of them are the positive. There's no big difference. And also collaboration and other forms of communication, such as the group talks and the speeches, if they have the debate practice, it is not positive result. But if the student have a debate experience, that they are very positive on the collaboration and other forms of communications. Yes, and the explanation so far, we focus on the questionnaires only. image and the skills on the discussions. But in the current research class, I put on the different questionnaire set. There is the inclusion question. So inclusion questions, sorry. The inclusion question consists of three parts. The question on the fairness and opinion inclusion and decision-making inclusion. The examples of question is like that. The fairness, for example, everyone should have an equal opportunity for the growth and promotions. They agree or disagree. This is a fairness question. And opinion inclusion questions. For example, the difference from diverse people are valuable, and they agree or disagree. And also the decision-making inclusion is, in case of problem solution, we respect and utilize diverse opinions and perspectives, and agree or disagree. This is a decision-making inclusions. And by analyzing the data, the student with the 4 weeks debate practice, they have a little impact on the fairness questions, but they have positive on the opinion inclusion and the decision-making inclusions. But compared with this, the people previously have a debate, it's a mistake. The latter part is the students have a debate experience before the class. So they have a little impact on the fairness, and they have a little impact on the decision-making inclusions. They only have a positive impact on the opinion inclusions. So it means that if students have previously the debate experience, they are not so focused on the fairness or decision-making inclusions, but they have positively focused on the opinion inclusions. So, and this is a future research plan, and so the previous and the current research, they will focus on the image and the skills, and also the motivational effect on the skills, on the discussions. But so the future research plan, we are thinking of what kind of the ideas and the perspectives when people have a debate experiences. For example, what kind of political perspectives what kind of political perspectives the people have when they experience debate, for example, more liberal or more conservatives, or how these tolerance varies in the different debate format, such as the research-based debate and parliamentary debate and the debate in Japanese, and how the different formats of the debate influence the people have a political perspectives and ideas. And so our future research plan is like that. So as the debaters, the series of the questionnaires arranged by the political compass. The political compass is this is an example of the questions. The political compass is they have the political statement, and they answered agree or disagree, and agree or disagree, and someone agree or someone disagree or something. And for example, it's like a debate motions. I always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. And if they strongly agreed, they scored 7 or something. And if they strongly disagreed, then they scored 1 or 2. And so our thinking is that we set up the similar questionnaires by the political compass, and we analyze how the debate experience and how the different format of the debate experience they have affect the political ideas and political ideologies and perspectives. Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Professor Oga. So do you have any questions about presentations?
I have mainly 2 questions. The first is regarding on the method of the design of the questionnaire. Why did you choose to run the questionnaire as it is? Like, are there, as far as I remember, it's like 7 skills,
Yeah.
from strongly disagree to strongly agree. My question is, like, did you reference any like sources to design the 7-part skill, or is a conventional way when we are doing this kind of qualitative questionnaire?
Yes, we have 9 scales of the different sets of the questions, and the most of each of them is referred to the existing the questionnaire and existing the sample questionnaires.
So, like, one of my concern is that according to people who are from different backgrounds, some people are more likely to be very authentic when they are filling their like preferences and like the rankings. But in some culture, like Japan, maybe in specific, people are more likely to be like mediocre-ish, so not likely to choose like the 2 ends of the part. So like, did you like compare like different possible ways of making the scales that make it more accurate, is like uniquely to the Japanese examinee, or like was there this kind of like study? I'm not very like professional in this kind of qualitative study, so.
Is a qualitative study to focus on the Japanese questionnaires?
Yeah. So, like, are there studies regarding what is the best way to design a questionnaire, especially this kind of subjective opinion question, like in Japan?
I know one study is from the Tokyo universities. For example, if there is questionnaires answers, they agree or somewhat agree and somewhat disagree and disagree, and we can say they agree or disagree. And this study shows the Japanese people tend to choose the I can say agree or disagree, the dochira to mo ienai or something. Yeah.
So like maybe more like more komakai this scale is, like it's more accurate in Japan.
So more accurate means the 10 scale or 12 scale? Or
no, I mean, I'm just asking, like, is that true? Like, when we have like more scales, if you tend to have relatively more accurate results.
Okay, I think so.
But I have no authority in this. Another question is, like, do you think the examinees know that they are being studied on the issue of the effect of debating education to their like ability of discussion or things like that?
Yeah.
So they are aware of the subject of the study.
You mean the previous studies?
I mean both. So are those students you examine know that they're being examined of this experiment that is testing the effect of debate education on their like discussion skill?
Yes, should know.
So like my question is, if that is the case, without control group, my concern is probably you think, oh, after I have this debating class, probably I should be better at discussing skills. So when they're filling the questionnaire, they feel like, oh, maybe I should fill like one column more, like more in terms of the discussion skill. And how did you eliminate the error and take those into consideration while like getting the conclusion of the research?
Actually, we do, and we have the other control groups, and for example, in this case, we focus on the 3 classes and the 75 students, and we have the other class students. They nothing to do with debate in the class, and they have around the 56 students. So we have control groups, but actually, this part is charged by the Fujimura sensei. Yeah.
Thank you.
When I coach debate, when I try to measure motivational effects, I empirically think that interpersonal relationship largely influence the motivation of participants. For example, if there is a really attractive person, people are motivated to engage in discussion. If there are like a bunch of lazy people, then people's motivation is reduced, right? That's my sort of experience, empirical experience. Do you have any chance to consider that aspect or element of motivation, or do you think that sort of interpersonal relationship is just a small or marginal part of motivation, or have you, what kind of equation have you done when you have this kind of project?
I touched on this analysis in this presentation, but we have a 4 weeks class, and week 1 and week 4 we have the long questionnaires. But in addition, we ask the small questionnaires in every week. Every week questionnaires, asking how good or how bad with the group and your friends, and they evaluate each other's and the within the groups. And maybe this aspect is also measured by if we analyze the weekly questionnaires. But that analysis is not yet done in my presentation. Yeah.
So from your sort of impression by like observing students, do you think that sort of interpersonal like relationship or like attractiveness of participants have something to do with their motivation, or it's just?
I think it's very active. Yeah, the active correlationship between the other participants. But actually, I'm not sure. I only focus on the freshman and sophomore class, and maybe for the freshmen is very important for the other people in the groups. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.